There are a lot of great tools out there for being able to connect with students in the classroom, so face-to-face classroom, or even in an online classroom, both synchronously and asynchronously. One of the tools I've used when I'm doing like conference presentations or in class is SoapBox. So GoSoapBox is a great tool. It's a free tool for signing up as long as you have fewer than 30 students in your class. So this is going to be a situation where, for example, in a conference, obviously, if you have a large conference presentation, this is going to work. You'd have to get something that would allow for more people to participate. But in a lot of the classes I'm in right now, they are fewer than 30 students. And so this works really, really well for that. And what's really nice about it is I create my free account as a teacher, but my students don't have to create an account. I just give them a code to be able to enter into the class, and then they can start going. And it works super well on the phone. They can also use laptops, desktops, so they can open up a new tab if you're, for example, in a Zoom call or something. But where it really excels is if students use the online version on their phones. So it's not an app in the sense of having to install it, which is great. All you do is just have them open up a browser and you give them the web address and the code and they're on their way. What's also nice is that I've actually set it up so that my class, my course, has the same code. So each day when they come into the class, they have the same code. So how does it work? Well, you go to GoSoapBox.com and it takes you to here. So just give you a quick look at what some of the tools are that are on GoSoapBox, and then I'll show you an example. So you click on take a tour and sign up now, and you'll see a few different tools. So first off, there's this something called a confusion barometer. And basically what it is if you on any of these, you can turn them on or off. So if you have this on, students can actually click on I'm confused or I understand, and what it will do is it will keep track. And if I start seeing on my screen, I see a lot of the red I'm confused, then I know that I need to take a break and work on something. So that's the confusion barometer. A very simple setup, very simple for the students to use, but it's not that complicated, and it's really visually easy to see how their students are doing. I like to leave that on if I'm in the middle of a discussion or something, or maybe I'm doing a little mini explanation or something, and I just want to make sure that they are on task. Another thing that's also really helpful is the social Q&A. Now, what I really like about the social Q&A is students can ask questions, and they can also upvote questions and like questions and things like that. And so with that, you can start to see questions. So this is great for conference presentation, but also for class. If they have questions about something, they can do it. And if somebody goes on there and sees that question, they go, ooh, I agree with that, when they upvote it. And all of those upvoted questions go to the top. So I can just answer the questions from the top and continue my way down. So it makes it so that I'm hitting the key questions with everybody. There's also real-time polling. There are quizzes. Actually, the quizzes are a really nice feature. I don't use it a lot, but maybe some other people will find it really helpful. Very, very simple for being able to set up and run. And like I said, you can also change it so that you can turn on or off things. Do they have to have their names? Do all that type of thing. And then you can also put reports. So just to give you an overview what some of the limitations are, it is, like I said, fewer than 30 students. But after that, it just needs you to sign up. So I'm just going to go in and click on sign in. This is the same button that students would use to use access code, you use to log in, but they would put in their access code and hit join now. I'm going to click on sign in order to get to my course. So here are some of the events I have. You can just set up all sorts of events. It's no problem. And so I have a lot of different events here, and I'll show you how to set up one. Then you also have your profile, password, things like that. We're going to focus in on a few different things. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of these sessions I've already used, and you'll see here I have the barometer at the top. I have a polling thing, and I have the social Q&A. And there's different types of polling, I should mention. There is instant polling, and you can also set up a poll as well too. Instant polling is great for when you have slide type things. So what I'll do is I set up in my PowerPoint slides, whenever I want to get some feedback from the students, I'll have A, B, and C. And so you can see here there's A, B, C, D, E. I can have it as up to 5. I can actually do more than that if I want. I can set it up for 15 if I wanted to. But in this case, I only wanted, maybe I'll do 3 this time. And what it will do is it will change it so that there's only 3 options available to it. And so what I do is on my slides, I have A, B, C, or A, B, C, D, or something like that. And I'll have the description underneath. And then students just go to the instant polling and click on B, A, C, D, whatever it is that matches up to what's on my slide. That way I don't have to go in and write all the questions for every poll. I do all that work in the PowerPoint slide or on the whiteboard, and the students just use the A, B, C, D to vote, because instant poll is always there if you turn it on. Here's some social Q&A. And if you click on any of these, you'll actually see responses to it. And then you can actually, again, you see there's lots of other replies and stuff to this. So somebody's asked a question, somebody's replied to it, and I can post questions, they can pose questions. So there's all sorts of ways of being able to get back and forth, kind of like an asynchronous or even a synchronous conversation in a way in the synchronous class. So we're going to go down to moderate this event. And down at the moderate this event, this is where you're going to make some changes in regards to what kind of settings you want to have available for your students. So I'm going to, first off, I would go in and you can see it says view access code information, then enable and disable features, change event details, and then add a moderator and some other things as well too. Let's go into the view access code information. So this is something you can project on your screen. I usually put it in a slide and just tell them how to go about and do it. But once they're used to this, they don't have to do this again and again. Enable disable features. This is an important one. This is where your core features and other features are. So core features, the barometer, do you want it on off? Do you want the quizzes on or off? And this just whether or not it shows up on their screen. So if you turn it off, it doesn't appear on their screen. Polling, instant polling, discussions, and social Q&A. Discussions is not like the social Q&A where it has a question, a bunch of answers below it type of thing, and they can upvote. It literally is more like a threaded discussion type of thing. I'll turn it on just to show you here. And then at the bottom here, there's a profanity filter, which is on, math formatting, and names required. I don't normally have the names required, but you can turn it on, and then it's required once they come in to put their name on it. So I'm going to go back to the moderation panel here. And what I'm going to do is go back to the event, and we'll see that the discussions now is here. So this is where we can create a discussion, and I can actually set it so that the replies are visible to students or not. And so this is actually kind of a nice thing, because I'll have students who I don't want them to be able to just like, oh, somebody else has said this, now what am I going to say? I want to see what they really are thinking. And so I'll hide the results until afterwards, and then I'll show it to everybody. If I put as replies are visible to students, once they enter in their information, they can see what everybody else has put. So it depends on how you want to do that. You can set that up and tweak it to what you like. So how do we create a session? So I'm going to go back to my events here, and I'm going to click on create, and you just give it a name. And then you hit create, and it gives you the code, it gives you the link, and you proceed to your event. And there you are. By default, barometer, quizzes, polls, discussions are all going to be on there. And you will also get an email telling you how to access that as well too, so make sure that you've got it. So once that's all set up, then you can go to your moderate this event and you can change things. You can also change event details, so you can put in a custom access code if you want to change the code because somebody else has changed it, or make it easier for them to kind of type in. You can also have an announcement that appears at the top of the event so everybody can see it. So you can have important information about how this is going to work for them. Then you also can add a moderator. So I can actually go in and put another person to be a moderator. They won't be able to make some changes to it, but they'll be able to moderate the event. They'll be able to have more back panel type of thing as well. This is where we can go in. You can export your polls and your social Q&A information. You export it as Excel documents. You can duplicate the event. You can archive it or remove it completely. And so that is the GoSoapBox. So if you want to see what it looks like from the side of the phone, all I'd have to do in this particular case is just open up my browser and type in the information that they have. So let's go back here, and I have the code here. So I would go to app.gosoapbox.com, and once it goes there, it takes me to the code area. I'm going to do 152. Now, you don't have to put in the dashes. I'm going to mention that as well too. The only reason for the dashes is just easier for you to be able to see it. And so now when I get here, all I have is the confusion barometer. But if I go back here, I can see that there's a lot more here. Why? Because nothing has been created at this point here. I haven't created a quiz, I haven't created a poll, I haven't created a discussion. Once I do that, they will appear here. So let's just do a quick discussion here. And I can put more this. I'm going to put the replies are visible to students and hit create. And now what should happen is now I should be able to then start getting access to the other information here. Oh, it's locked, sorry. Gotta unlock that first. Once it's unlocked, there we go. It appeared automatically. I didn't have to refresh my page. I lock it, gone. Unlock it, it's back. So now what I do is I click on it and I can actually type in my reply, and once I add my reply, I can see the replies that are on there. I can go into here and I can see the replies that are here. So I can project this on the screen and students can be able to see. And I can also delete these. So I can delete it. It deletes automatically off of the app as well, off of the website. So that is the general idea of GoSoapBox. In a nutshell, works like this. You create a free account. You have a small group, say 30 or fewer students. You create an event. You choose the things that you want to be able to do. You put those on there, and once they're on there, students will be able to reply to them. If you keep the same event for the entire semester or whatever that is that you have with them, then the students just know to bookmark that page. They keep coming back to the same thing. I leave it up on my whiteboard. They just come in, they automatically sign in, they're ready to go. And then I can keep track of what's going on in the class while I'm teaching. And for Zoom things or for online synchronous type of courses, this is great for that type of thing, getting more feedback instead of just the regular chat. And also for asynchronous. It doesn't have to be a synchronous event. I can use this as a way to communicate with my students asynchronously as well. So hopefully it gives you some ideas. There's a lot there to unpack. I do have a post on this, if you want more details on it, on my website. So you go to nathanhall.ca. and there is a post on there about GoSoapBox. I'll put the link in the description as well. So if you're interested in that, please go and visit that as well. If you're interested in more of these videos, please subscribe, and then that way you'll be alerted when you get new videos posted. And also, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to add them into the comment box and I will reply to them. So thank you very much. Have yourself a good day.